Hi, what's up YouTube? What's going on? It's been a minute. It's been kind of cold. The weather's been not too well. And sun is out finally. And we're out riding. I got my buddy here, Alex, and he's having a problem with the R3 where it's like constantly turning off on him. And I'm telling him he's basically due for a valve adjustment, and that's kind of what we're gonna do. At the same time, while getting there, I'm planning to talk about all the mods I did to the mt09. I haven't done that since my last mod update, which was, it had no mods. I just had the ideas of the mods. But let's get to it. Let's see. What mod do I want to talk about first about the mt09? So far, I love the bike. It has come out exactly like I envisioned it. I finally put an exhaust on the bike that wasn't coming out of the bike. So I waited patiently until I knew an exhaust was going to come out eventually for it. The sucky part was I was kind of the guinea pig to everyone because I didn't know what the bike was going to sound like. But I did risk it, and it doesn't sound bad at all. I love the exhaust note so far. We got different angles for you. But as you can see, also I put in the Pug air, what is it, the downforce kit, which is honestly, it doesn't do much downforce, especially the speeds that I'm going. I'm assuming when you're in high speeds, nice turns, it does have an effect. But I'll be honest with you, I don't like to lie, but I did it purely for aesthetic reasons, to be honest. I wanted the bike to look cool. The inspiration actually came from the Ducati, the naked Ducati, the Super Sport. I forgot the name. I'll put the image here. That's where this inspiration came from. You know, I couldn't afford it, so I made my own. And she's so far come out exactly like I wanted it. At the time when I was going to purchase this thing, I was either going to get the Ducati or this one. And I thought to myself, Ducati was kind of expensive. It was almost like buying a car. And I knew that I was going to buy another bike in the future. So yeah, I've always wanted that bike, but it was just too much. And so I just decided to make my own, and it came out good. I had fun modifying the bike, doing what I had to do with it, and I'm very pleased with it, and the bike's fine. And at the same time, like I said, I ended up getting the Harley, so it worked out. But let's talk about the mods, right? The one that I've noticed that changed the bike dramatically is lowering the handlebars. And people ask, like, why did you lower the handlebars? Now it's not a naked, blah, 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 this and that. It's fine. Like, I'll admit that I don't ride very, very long distances. I wish I would. Kind of do a little touring. Maybe one day I will. But I just think it looks aesthetically pleasing, and it just now the bike actually matches. But again, everyone sees the bike differently, and it's okay. This is how I see it. This is how I want it. That's why I lowered the bike handlebars. I've always thought it looked kind of weird with the handlebars being so high. That one is what I did to lower the so I just lowered the bars. Did it change the fact, like, did it change how the bike performs? Not really. I took it to the canyons not too long ago, and if anything, I have more confidence with the bike, I guess, and I feel more planted. Yes, I have more back pain because I'm leaning forward. It's okay. But I don't mind it, as long as you don't mind it. And I work out and I try to keep my back healthy. And it's not like a super sport or anything like that, so it's not like very like aggressive or anything like that. But for ergonomics and how the bike is steering, it pretty much feels the same. It feels the same. It doesn't feel heavy on turning or anything like that. It feels like that's how it was naturally. So I would say more wrist pain when I'm in the canyons for a longer time, but that's just because I'm not used to it. And you know, I guess that would be the worst thing about it. The downforce kit, the only thing that thing changed is that I'm more afraid to scratch it, I guess. That'd be the only thing that it's changed. That, and it gets a lot of looks. A lot of people don't know what bike this is, and that's kind of cool. You know, they think it's some sort of exotic when it's not. I mean, I only got it for $9 grand, so. The other mod that was very noticeable would be the Woodcraft the rear sets. Those are a big difference. I was able to actually, I feel like more, how do I say, I lifted the rear sets higher, so that now my knees are more tucked in, and I feel a lot more confident with the bike when I'm able to lean back left and right. I feel more confident. So that I'll say the combination of the handlebars going lower and then the rear sets being higher, I did make it more of an aggressive stance, I guess, and it did change the bike a bit, but in a good way. The next one is the exhaust. I haven't actually tuned the bike. A lot of people ask me if I've tuned it. I have not. Performance wise, nothing has actually happened to the bike. Right now I'm running catless. I'm running it no cats, no baffle, and his bike is louder, I think. When I'm on road in high RPMs, yes, it does kind of hurt the ears. I don't run earplugs. I should. I am planning to put the cat to see if it changes the tone, and of course I'll update you guys and let you know. But for the exhaust, no, you know, at least I'm heard everywhere, and I won't get hit by other cars. I live in California. Now we can lane split, but right now I'm kind of chatting with you guys. I was aiming for, you know, pleasing to the eye. Not to say that the bike is ugly as it is. I just change it to my style, my look. Little details change the bike dramatically. Again, that's my opinion.
Like I was saying, I wanted to give an update on how the bike is doing. You know, a quick review on all the mods that I've done so far on the bike. The bike is running perfectly fine. There's no issues with any of the mods I've added so far. And a quick review on every little item, like the exhaust is plenty loud. I posted a lot of clips for y'all so that you kind of can hear and see the difference on how it sounds. I would say right now how I'm running it with no baffle and no cats, you're gonna need some earplugs because it's a ringer. But moving on from the exhaust, if I had to give it a rating from 1 to 10, I would give it a solid 8.5. For sound and for looks, I'll give it a solid 9.5. Woodcraft rear sets, install is I'll say the exhaust install was pretty tough, and so was the rear sets install would be pretty hard. It's fair. You'd need some just time and effort to put it, but quality, build quality, and so far I'm super happy with the product. I would say I would give it at a 1 to 10. This one would be a solid 10. Super happy, very grippy. I say the one thing that I noticed, because these ones don't flex up, and this one's loose, my fault. I have to fix that. This is loose, so it's my fault. I had to fix that. It's easy fix just from the back. I didn't put any Loctite on this, that's why it's like that. But very grippy, and then they don't fold like the original ones would, which is fine. But I feel very comfortable with my shoes, any type of shoes, my boots, my sneakers, or my riding boots. I'll say a definite worth of an upgrade there. Again, I gave this a solid 10 on everything: looks, fitment, design, quality. Definitely worth. Moving on to the Puke downforce kit, underbelly and the downforce kit here. 1 to 10 in aesthetics, looks wise, I'll give it a solid 10. And it kind of makes the bike, for me, of course not for everyone. I know it's a naked, and it's still, in my eyes, it's still a naked, aiming more towards like a hyper naked, if that's even a thing. But it just looks rad, it looks cool. I get a lot of compliments on this bike. A lot of people think that it's some sort of Ducati or some sort of, they just don't know what it is, obviously. Non-bike people, right? I mean, it does look different. But on functionality, I don't really notice a difference. I'm not going in very, very high speeds to see any difference on the bike so far. So 1 to 10 rating on performance and difference, I don't know. -2, because I don't feel anything. Maybe I'm just not going fast enough. I also have, I'll put down in the description all the parts that I've done so far for the bike, and prices on each item, and where to get them if you'd like to know where. Turning signals, awesome. TST Industries. I like the halo look on them, and then they're perfectly bright for, you know, oncoming traffic and whatnot. Wind deflector, if we call it a wind deflector, I got it more so for aesthetic reasons. I would say it blocks a little bit of the wind, or defers the wind a little higher. Normally the bike would take the wind in to my chest, but with this baby on, now it just kind of hits my helmet. But with the helmet, if I were to go crouch, it kind of flows over your head. I don't think it's designed for airflow, more so just more like a cover. Shorty levers, they're cool. Nothing too crazy about them. They're just short. They look aesthetically pleasing, and then I got them because of the match of the bike. The biggest, I would say, the biggest difference in mods, like I was explaining, riding, is just the handlebars. Now I feel like it looks a lot better and cleaner. I still have to try the down position, because it still can go even lower if I would like it to. But as the moment there is cool, and it almost barely touches, or maybe even touches on this side. So that needs to be adjusted. This side doesn't touch at all. This one was more, you can't really buy, like, this is the Woodcraft bar. Again, the quality on it is great. I scratched it. That's the one thing I don't like about black, because it's, the paint will fall off if you kind of abuse it, which I unfortunately did, and it scratched it. But build quality on the Woodcraft, solid 8. On aesthetics, it looks great. I'll give it also an 8.5. The one thing I don't like, but it's my fault, I used the wrong tool and I damaged the actual hardware. I don't even know if you could buy the hardware, but that's the one thing I have as a complaint, but I would say that was my fault. I do have the rear seat cowl that I have to finish wrapping because it came apart, and then I got this kind of cover. This was through Alibaba. I don't recall how much it is. Again, I'm gonna put all the pricing down on the description, so that if any of you are looking for any mod in particular, they'll be there for you. The Wamtech frame sliders. I actually came through once. I let a friend ride the bike, and he was turning the bike and he ended up scratching it. I don't know if it'll show here. There, and then it saved the bike from getting more damaged. With coming back to the rear sets, the one thing that's pretty cool about this rear set, it gives you the ability to do regular shift or GP shift if you put it on this side. That way you can kick it up for downshifts and down for upshifts. So the ability to do that is awesome. So that's a plus where you don't have to add or buy more. I believe last but not least, I also got from TNT Industries. It's a rear, the cover here. So it's a nice little cover with the tail fender eliminator. It's foldable. If I wanted to fold it down, I could do that. And as well as if I would like to mount this down here, I can. I'm not going to, I believe, or here, one of these where it gets mounted here, like at an angle. I could if I wanted to. Again, I'm not planning to do that. This is fine. And yeah, that's her right there. If you guys have any questions about the bike and how it's performing or anything, feel free to put it down in the comments. But as of so far, that's kind of how she is. The next couple things that I'm planning to do, wrapping her just a specific color, I don't know what yet. And then I want to upgrade the brake lines to stainless steel. And I guess that's it. I wouldn't say bikes are never finished. I always say I'm finished with her, but now that the weather has changed, I'm planning to take her out on more rides and more to the track, and I will bring you guys along for every little move I make regarding these machines. I filmed a lot with the Harley, and I stopped riding the Harley because it had a lot of no issues. It just had a check engine light, and the check engine light was kind of bothering me, so I wanted to fix that issue before riding it. I am gonna do a full review on the Harley on one of my next video on how I've been dealing with it so far, and if I would recommend it to anyone in the near future, kind of what to look for when getting this Harley bike. But now that I finally took it into service, I'm gonna start riding it more and seeing if they fix the problem. I don't think so, but we'll see. We'll pray, cross our fingers that the bike is fixed and I can now just enjoy the Harley instead of kind of leave it in the back burner, hoping it doesn't break or anything. So all I'm gonna say is again, thank you, and I appreciate anyone watching my videos from this point on, and looking forward to making more videos for you guys. It's out.